I'm Mark Smith. I grew up right here on the south side of Indianapolis. Always had an interest in the military. My senior year in high school, made the decision to join the Marine Corps. Got out in January of 1990 and then was recalled in November of 1991 for Operation Desert Shield, Desert Storm.
The first Iraqi war saw many retreat maneuvers by the Iraqi army, including the burning of oil wells.
And I happened to find myself in a spot in Saudi Arabia where we were right in the path of one of those oil wells that they had torched. To say the sky had black smoke is really a misnomer. The sky was black smoke for as far as the eye could see. And you just kind of, after about 3 weeks, you just kind of accepted that that was the environment you were in. But that's all we breathed for a month, was just thick, hewish black air. If you blew your nose, it was literally almost like blowing motor oil right out of your nose.
Smith returned home after his tour. Within a few years, he noticed a change in his breathing.
I would catch myself just sitting on the couch and feeling like that last breath I took, I didn't get enough air. So I went to see a specialist. They diagnosed me with asthma-like symptoms. Something would trigger very similar to asthma.
Smith took asthma medications and moved forward in life as a decorated Marine Reserve and state policeman.
But then, of course, September 11, 2001 kind of changed everything. And in 2003, I was mobilized again. Now we were in an occupation role, in a counterinsurgency role. And so now we're living in and among the population.
But basic infrastructure didn't exist. No trash pickup, no working sewers.
You're running an American base, you're running a battalion forward operating base. You got anywhere from 200 to 1,000 soldiers and Marines living on that base. Well, that's human waste, that's trash, that's litter. What do you do with it? You burn it. And so once again, the constant breathing in of toxic air.
Never a smoker, always fit. For years after Iraq, Smith felt fine, until 2012, when a blood clot appeared in his leg.
I was in the process of being discharged when a very sharp young Indian doctor had a conversation with me and just basically told me, we can discharge you today, and that's what the book says. But he told me straight up, he said, Mr. Smith, you're too healthy to have a blood clot. Something else is wrong. And I'd like to get a CT scan of your chest and your abdominal area. Well, it came back that I had a cancerous tissue in the right upper lobe of my right lung.
Lung cancer was a devastating diagnosis, one that humbles the strongest among us.
You know, when you think you're a tough guy, the last thing you want to be in front of your daughters is weak and broken. But I was. And I've served on the battlefield with some absolute giants of the Marine Corps. I've been in some situations that most people would consider their worst nightmares. And I had two young daughters that just flat stepped up to the plate and carried me through.
Family ignited the fight in the Marine. They would attack the cancer.
The tumor was contained to one lung, had not spread to any other organs, but had spread to the lymphatic system within the lungs. So that ruled out surgery. The treatment was chemo and radiation, and the intent was curative. So the doctors thought they could cure it. And everything was tracking really well, particularly in the lymphatic system. However, this past summer, they started to show uptake in the area of the original tumor. And that's where it got real interesting. It appeared that the disease had been destroyed in the lymphatic system, and if now we were just dealing with the original tumor location, now maybe surgery was an option. And they went for it. And so on the 16th of September, they went in and removed my right upper lobe. Pathology reports all came back great. And so, I mean, as of right now, the prognosis is excellent. So I got extremely blessed. Breathing is an autonomic nervous response. It's actually the only autonomic nervous response that we can control. And you realize, I mean, let's face it, really the two most basic building blocks of human existence are oxygen and water. You can do a long time without everything else, but you can't go very long without those two, oxygen especially. But I don't take any breaths for granted.